Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to have episode 133 of The Coin Vault Has Opened. We'll be looking at 50 1987p Lincoln Memorial cents. These are all in mint packaging cut from mint sets, so they're in their original mint cellophanes. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? So, let me bring it up here. I got 50 of these off of eBay, and so we're going to look through them like we normally do, kind of check out the grade, see what kind of quality we get from this person, and then we will zoom in and see if we can find any of the double dies. I believe there are 4 or 5 double dies for the obverse, and then I saw 1 double die for the reverse, and so we'll see if we can find any of those. But first we'll kind of look through them, see what the quality of them are. Most of these look like they're in really good condition. It looked like they must have gone through and just cut them all out of some pretty nice sets. The cellophane is in really good condition. And everything I can see is pretty nice and bright. But having these be a little bit older coins, we could have environmental damage or something. Looks like this one has a scratch on the reverse, or on the obverse. And one thing I forgot to check was I know that there are, like for the late 90s, there are the wide AMs, which we were searching through for the 2000Ps the other day. I forgot to check and make sure if there was like a close AM for 1987. Possibly I can check eBay, see if there's any wide or close AM, see if there's a variety, just because I don't know off the top of my head. But that's something we could look. You know, this is obviously a wide AM here, and so I don't think it would be a wide AM that we'd be looking for, because I believe those are late 90s and 2000. But possibly there is a close AM that is a variety for this year, but both of them may be common, so I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. But it definitely looks like these are the wide AM varieties on the reverse of these. A little spot on his head here. I was kind of bummed. I almost got, I'm trying to remember what the date, I want to say it was a 98 wide AM. I was trying to bid on one on eBay, and somebody had like 100 auctions up, and so I was kind of doing my normal thing of placing bids on ones that I would buy for, you know, kind of a cheap price, and then I was going to go in. There was just so many auctions, and they ended so close to each other, that I was just kind of bidding on things that I didn't really care if I won or not, but if I could pick them up for a low enough price, I would purchase them. And then I was going to spend, you know, when the auctions were ending, I was going to spend my time bidding on the things I really wanted. And after bidding on about 25 out of the 100 plus they had, I all of a sudden got a message from eBay saying, you can only bid on 25 of this person's items. You can only have 25 bids, wins, and purchases a week. I buy and sell on eBay all the time. I had never, ever come across a warning message like that. The person had basically restricted their account so that people could only buy so many. I guess it's a safety feature, or if you have something kind of, you know, very limited edition and you're trying to keep it, you know, kind of spread the wealth. But I couldn't bid on the wide AM. It was like a $90 coin, PCGS slab. Ended up going for $30. And I messaged them and said, hey, I'm trying to bid on your stuff, but you have restrictions. And they're like, okay, let me check it out. I'll fix it. I got to watch auction after auction of PCGS graded coins end for $3. And I think the reason they were all ending for so cheap is nobody was able to bid on their auctions. And so I missed out on all the coins I really wanted to get. I ended up winning 24 out of the 25 I had bids on. But I understand people restricting accounts so that people can't bid if they have bad feedback or if they've like, done naughty things. But I'd never seen it, and then it was interesting because when I won it, I got a nasty, nasty email from this seller saying, you won all these auctions, and I never thought anyone would win so many of them. It really bothers me. And I'd never ever purchased a bunch of coins. Normally people are really happy that someone's bidding on their coins, and they're like, I'm going to restrict your account to only be able to bid on 10 coins at once. So I don't know why someone wouldn't want, like, I mean, if you put something up for auction, you want as many people bidding as possible. You don't want to discourage bidding or make bidding impossible for someone. I tried to explain it to them, and I don't know if they got it. But they have more auctions ending this week, so we'll see. Maybe they have another wide AM for sale. I guess that's how I got talking about that, but it was the most interesting experience ever. I've never had someone get upset for winning so many auctions from them. Normally they're like psyched and happy. But it's like if you have someone like me and I can't bet on them, it's like I'm basically gonna, I'm gonna bid stuff up to the price that I can resell a coin at, and then if somebody obviously can pay more, if they can pay full price. But you need two people bidding against each other in order for an auction not to end for the minimum starting bid. And that's kind of just what happened. I kind of feel bad for them because they had 150 PCGS slabs up for sale, and I'd say a third of them went for like $3-4. And so don't do that to yourselves, guys. Definitely don't do that to yourselves. Looks like there's a little scratch in the right field on this one. I'd say most of these look really good. I've seen a couple spots on them, a couple little scratches. This one's got a spot on the reverse too. I'd say by the time there's a scratch and a couple little spots like that, it's probably like an MS64. But most of these seem like probably about a MS65. If I was to get this date graded, I'd want to get MS67 for any coins. It's pretty easy to sell an MS67 for more than $20. However, it's going to cost probably about, if you did bulk grading, it's going to be about $16 to get a coin graded, and then after you ship it to the person, you really have to get more than $20. Maybe if you pull a mint state 68 or 2 out of a bulk lot, then you can sell off the 66s and 67s for for the price you paid. There's definitely some environmental damage in the mint cello here. Kind of looked like the edge is starting to get a little bit of spotting. So yeah, it's like pretty much as soon as the mint cellos get some sort of environmental damage, it seems like the coins start to go downhill. That's one of the reasons I like these though, is that I feel like coins that aren't in the mint cellos, these things aren't airtight and there is air in them, but if they're stored properly, the coins seem to stay pretty good. While I find like older rolls and stuff, I find a lot more spotting. It just seems like there's a lot more, then you have the paper and stuff. I feel like things kind of, sometimes things in paper tone. Sometimes, I feel like the paper absorbs liquid. This one's got, looks like the cello got kind of smoky on it. Looks like the coin's still doing okay. There's some rim dings on this one. It's like you probably wouldn't even notice those if you weren't looking at it under a microscope. And so I have a couple more memorial rolls, or business strike memorials, and then I've got I got a ton of new proof early memorials. And so we've had really good luck finding double dies in those, so we'll search those. I also got some more rolls of mint cello wheat pennies, and so those are fun. I really enjoy looking at those. Hopefully they will be nice. It's like the first rolls of proof wheat cents that I've seen in Mincello's probably since March. I don't think I've been able to buy any on eBay, so when I saw them come up, I paid a little bit more than I normally would. I was beginning to think that if I wanted to search more rolls of Mincello's, I was going to have to make them myself and buy a bunch of mint sets, which definitely would be fun to do. Yeah, some of these Mincello's, it seems like more and more that I'm picking up here. This one looks really nice though, but there's kind of like a smoky, almost looks like it got like heat. I'm assuming they're not like heating these up and closing them again. That would be no fun for anybody. Just want to move this one, see if it's... Yeah, this one almost has the feeling like it was opened. Just around the edge over here. Maybe it's just, maybe it is open. Yeah, I can see the rim of the coin right through it. But it's not all of them. It's like some of these almost look like proof-like, but I don't think they are. It looks like a business strike. Just some of the surfaces. I feel like these earlier copper-covered zinc, sometimes they just get like a weird, almost plasticky kind of like surface. And so one thing I have noticed though is that these Mincello rolls, these later memorial, there's not as many double dies, and chances are, like, I do have a roll of 87D, and there did look like there was a lot of RPMs in them. And so that'll be fun, because we've been looking through a lot of proof coins, and then we can't find any RPMs, but we have been finding double dies. But I've been almost thinking that for these like later memorials, when I do them, I think I might just do them as like a bonus stream, because I feel like it's only been taking about an hour to go through them, and I feel like the other streams that I do are generally a little bit longer, but you guys can all let me know if you enjoy them. It's just kind of fun to get to see all the different dates, because every time I look through a roll of a solid date, I feel like I learn something new about the coin. Like I kind of get to know that date in mint, and then I usually learn something, and then when I'm looking through random stuff, I remember, oh yeah, that's a possibility. It's like every time I pick up like a 1956 proof Lincoln wheat cent now, I know exactly which varieties I want to look for in it. And as I've been making my videos for my shorter PCGS coin videos, I keep seeing all these different errors that I wouldn't have looked for. I just didn't even know, and now I see the date and I'm like, oh, I should check to see if that has a double die on it. And I found quite a few cool coins. I think I found, what was it? I think it was a 1894 Indian head cent. That was like a Snow 1 variety, had like a misplaced date on it. That one looked really cool. I can probably show it to you guys if anybody wants to see it. But got some awesome coins this week. Got to make a couple videos before the stream today of some of the coins that I got in, and I got a 1963 Franklin $50. It's a mint state coin, and it had an Averse Die Clash FS 402. And it was a really, really nice one. So if you guys aren't familiar with that clash, in MS64 condition, it's worth $350 graded by PCGS. So it's, if you have a nice proof set, or I'm sorry, not a proof set, if you have a mint set for 1963, it's definitely worth looking to see if there's a clash. And it's right in the same place, or right next, it's right beneath the nose that you can see the clash. And so it's like if you're already checking the 1963 to look to see if it's a Bugs Bunny, which is like right in front of the lip, It's just one extra thing to check when you're checking your Franklin half dollars, and so I was pretty happy with that one. The other one that I was really psyched about, that I made a video of earlier, it was a 1960 D, D over D, but it was also the small over large date. So it was basically 2 errors in 1 coin, and I had never gotten to see one of those in person. And what was interesting, you know, the 6 and the doubling on the date definitely was very distinct, and you could see the D over the D to the north. But a lot of the doubling looked like machine doubling, but then, you know, the small 6 over the large 6, it was very, very distinct. And so it's like whenever I'm going through 1960 Ds, I'm never ever gonna miss that one, because I'll know exactly what to look for. I've got quite a few more varieties and stuff coming in the mail, so there will be some really cool videos coming up here. And I'm going to try to get as many different errors and RPMs and die clashes and double dies as I can for you guys. And trying to build a video library of different kind of mint errors. And that way, hopefully, it'll be a resource. I know that there's a lot of really good websites with pictures, but I figure if I make videos of the coins, it might be really helpful for everyone. And while pictures and stuff go nicely on a website, I figure I can make videos for here on YouTube. And so it'll like give a little bit more, another tool for people to use. And I really enjoy getting to see it, and it's like I get to learn each time I do it, so it's definitely worth my time, and hopefully I'll help some people identify the coins that they're looking at. So we've probably got about 10 more of these, and then we can zoom in and look for some double dies. This one's, well, that's one spot. One of them moved off of it. Other than that, it's got pretty nice fields. I'd say for the most part, I think that this seller was from Tennessee. I might be wrong on that. I'd have to check. But it's definitely interesting getting to try out different people's product. And these ones I actually got at a really good price. I normally check all of the mint cello rolls that are up for sale and check for new ones, because I've looked at every single one up. But I decided to like look at the cheapest ones, and I guess someone had reduced the prices on everything that they had. And because I had looked at it a long time ago, I didn't notice that they were reduced, but I was able to pick them up for a very happy price and just bought every single roll that they had. I almost thought that it was kind of an error that they were so cheap, but they came promptly in the mail, and I'm pretty psyched about it. I think we got about 4 more here. This one looks like the cello has been compromised. I'd say the coin's probably going to turn red-brown here pretty soon. We'll have to see what these cellos look like when we zoom in. I think you guys have definitely gotten to see some of the cloudy ones. Pardon me. The last thing I want to do is cough into this microphone with you guys listening. So we'll finish up here, and then I will zoom in and turn on the lights, or rather the opposite. I'll turn on the lights, then zoom in so I don't blind you guys. Looks like a spot on this one. Some very, very small spotting on the coin. Almost looks like a fingerprint right down there. So I'm wondering what these, you know, it's like when they first started putting the copper on the zinc, they just really did not know what they were doing, or they couldn't get it right. I'm almost curious, and you know, I know that copper covered zinc can be kind of a time bomb. But I'm curious, you know, it's like you have like the wood grain coins for like the wheat pennies. I'm curious of what some of these like grainy looking ones will look like in the future. What's interesting though is like I've gotten so many like high grade like MS67 ones where it's just like super textured like that, and I would have thought it would have killed the grade, but I've seen plenty it doesn't seem to affect the grade at all. Alright, so the main areas that we're going to be looking at are on the day. I think we're just going to go all the way in if we're able to here, which we should because this is a cello, not a slab. Let me bring the microscope closer to me. I'm kind of reaching. It's kind of interesting, like, it's like I feel like I see a line going on these ones, but they do not look extra thick at all. The 9 kind of looks like there's a little bit of extra on it. But it's like definitely, let me just flip over, refresh my brain here. So let me check this out real quick. Pardon me, I normally don't do this. I clicked on eBay by accident and got a really large offer on something. Not quite large enough for what I paid for it. Alright, but what I was going to look, alright, so yeah, that's really extra thick. And so generally it takes me looking at a few of these to kind of like adjust it's like when you just look at one coin, it's kind of hard to get a baseline for it. So I believe that this is just machine damage. You can kind of see that there is like a little bit of doubling, but I feel like it's more like part of the coin has been scooped out. Like it's more like parts of it are missing instead of it being extra thick. Let's check the reverse. And so I don't even know how easy these will be able to see. There's supposedly a double die. It's kind of like a line that goes right below Lincoln's feet. And it almost looked impossible to tell. What was interesting is that there were all these lines that go down the center of the pillars as well. And so that almost seemed like an easier way to find it. Because when I zoom in on Lincoln here, I can barely even see him. He's more like a ghost. We'll check out another date here. It's not looking extra wide to me. I feel like this one looks a little bit bigger. There's an interesting light here though, the way that these are hitting. And since I've never found one of these ones here before, it's kind of, I'm just trying to, I don't want to say, hey, we found something. Unless I know. Yeah, so this one kind of reminds me of the last one. I will say this one looks thicker than the other ones. Hey, oops, sorry, X. Welcome. How are you doing? We're trying out some 1987 Ps here. Not very familiar with them, so I thought I'd give these a go. Yeah, like this one just looks way skinnier after looking at that last one. Like, look how tiny that 9 is. And then, whoops, where did it go? However, I feel like the light on this one does make it look bigger, because you get basically the shine all the way around. But now look at this one again. It's like just super tiny. How's your week been? Oops. Hope you're having a good week. I was able to pick up a couple cool coins this week. I've got some awesome ones in the mail still, but I was telling people I got an Averse die clash for a 1963 proof FS402, and it looks pretty sweet. And I also got a small over large state with a D over D on it as well. So I was pretty happy about that one. I'd been wanting one of those, but every time they come up for auction, they go for way, way, way too much. And so I just have to say, next time. I like the mint cello, and this one is bending the light. Oh, there we go. And so there's a couple double dies on this one. There's one on the reverse, which is right below Lincoln's feet. And honestly, I can't even, like, the Lincoln's so faint on these. I figured the only place I was going to be able to see is that there's like kind of lines coming all the way down. It's like Lincoln has a little toned orb next to him. The hype for the coins for the Averse Double Die Clash. The one that I'm excited about, I can't even remember what it was. I'd never seen one before. It was oh gosh, I can't even remember what it is. It's a 1959 Franklin. But it is probably the most expensive coin I've ever bought. And so I'm kind of excited about that one. But I think it was like a Goitier or a Goiter. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it was like the name on the slab. But it looks like it is that one is like the top pop for that air. So I thought that was pretty cool. If I was going to get a variety, you might as well go with the top population. It looks like my 1995 double die already sold, and I think that both of the small date 1970s, or like 3 out of the 4, I think they sold. So I need to go out and find another one, and it seems like somebody bought a lot of the 1970s small dates. But at least I have some examples now to be able to try to find them in the wild. Yeah, I don't think, like, it's like the double die for this one, it's like this area that's like, you kind of see a line when I bend this back going right below his feet. I don't even think it's worth searching for, because it just does not show up on my microscope here. I'm hoping that we will, it's like, I feel like this one, it's like if you look at it, it almost looks wider, but this one that we found here, is this it? This one doesn't even look that wide anymore. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I have not found these ones before. This one looks kind of interesting. But I feel like I'm seeing a lot of machine damage, and so I feel like that makes it confusing when looking. It's like if you look at the edges of these, they're kind of like pushed up and scooped out. That seems like it's been really, really common. Like, look how thin the top of the S there. Like it has a line, but it's like the top of the S is super, super thin. I like the luster here. It looks very sparkly. Yeah, I think I saw one up for about $1,000, I think, today. It definitely couldn't hurt to get one. It would be fun. It's definitely one coin that I'd like to eventually have, is like the infamous 1955 double die. I just feel like it's the coin that, like, when someone thinks of a double die, that's like the first thing that they think about. I guess the reason I haven't is just, I don't know how, it's like if you buy a coin for over $1,000, it's gonna have to jump up in price. If you try to resell that coin on eBay, you're gonna have 10% of your purchase. So if it's like, if you buy it for 1,000, you're gonna have to sell it for 1,100 just to break even. And that's just a lot of money. It's like you need it to go up, you need it to price increase to 1,200 to be able to make a profit off of it, and that's, how long is it going to take for it to go up 20% in value? It almost feels like some of those higher priced varieties, they've just been kind of slowly creeping down over the years. It's like I feel like the more of them that get graded by PCGS, it kind of deflates the price of the value of them. It's like once a new variety is found, everybody wants it, nobody has one yet, and so it kind of creates some nice competition for the first ones that come up. But then every time a new one's discovered, or one in a better grade gets discovered, it seems like the price on things just kind of drop, drop, drop. And the ones that are in the best condition kind of, remain. The top pop ones remain, but if they get replaced by another top pop, then the price just drops. It's kind of a dangerous game, but it's also a fun game. I definitely am seeing a lot of coins coming on the market since the pandemic started that I have just never seen. Like, I've been, on eBay consistently, like, more hours of the day than not in the small cent category for like 17 years or so. And like, I'm seeing coins that I've never seen before, and then not only am I seeing them, but I'm seeing like multiple versions of the same coins. And so it's just interesting to me, like the coins that people are willing to part with all of a sudden. And it makes me ask myself, why? Why are they parting with these coins after hoarding them away? You know, did somebody die? Is somebody in need of money? What's the story? I guess I can always ask people when I buy them, you know, they don't have to answer, like, hey, why did you decide to give this up now? I guess one example of a coin, there's a 1958 Proof 67 Deep Cameo that ends tomorrow, I think in like 10 hours. I bought multiple coins from the person before, awesome coins. It's at like over $400 bid right now, which is, I'm not going to spend that much money on it as much as I want it. But I feel like I've only seen 2 deep cameos and wheat pennies, and both of them have been up at auction in the past week. The last one last week, it went for an insane amount of money, and this one's a higher grade, and I just imagine it's gonna go all the way up. Like I just never see deep cameo wheat, like proof wheats, in any grade. Like maybe I've seen one before. Maybe there's been one like ridiculously high priced up at the top of the price that I just don't go shopping in. But there are coins that I don't normally see just kind of like going through the auction process. And I've been seeing coins just priced at ridiculous prices, like cheap, like just like $20-$30 coins being put up for like $5. Um, there was like I think it was like 1882 Morgan dollar for like $3.99 shipping and $3.99 plus $3.99 shipping and handling. I told a friend about it. They purchased it, and then of course it was, you know, I obviously they got a message saying I obviously forgot a decimal point here. I forgot a digit. It's just interesting, like the prices on some stuff is going way up and the prices on other things is going down. Like I feel like a lot of the high-end stuff is coming down and a lot of the low-grade stuff is coming up and the mid-grade stuff is coming up. This one looks interesting to me. It just does not look that much wider. It's like the devices on these, like the numbers here, they're just so kind of like the copper over the zinc doesn't make very good edges. I feel like it's like everything just looks kind of soft. This looks a little bit better, a little bit crisper. It's an interesting line in the 9 up there. See if there's anything else going with that. A little extra bit of an edge on the bottom of the 8. Let's see what this looks like. Skinny letters. Almost looked like there was a line in the R there. I think it was just the way the light was playing. Maybe put this one aside and check it out after. But yeah, the only spot on the reverse is like underneath him, and it just, I don't know if things just get a really soft stamp or if it's my microscope or the lights, but I can't see anything going on down there. So I have a roll of 1987 Ds as well. I feel like it's going to be, with the numbers looking like this, I feel like every single one, I think I was reading about that, there's a ton of RPMs for 1987D, but that a lot of them are really easy to mistake for machine damage. Like, look at the numbers on this one, they're so nice and crisp. It's like, I guess I'm used to things looking more like this. It's just way, way easier to see what you're looking at. This one looks like it got a pretty good ding. So I'll give you guys the heads up too. There's probably only about 10 more coins here. So I think that for these memorials like this, I think I'm probably going to try to do bonus streams out of them instead of doing my normal stream. Or maybe in the future I can set it up so we can look at two different ones. I generally like to end the videos, not do two different rolls of two different dates. Maybe I can combine dates if I have more than one of the roll. But I find that if I ever end a stream and then start up a new one after, anyone that was enjoying watching is usually ghost by the end of the first video. At least that's been my experience in the past. We can play around with things in the future. I was also thinking about starting a little bit later in the future, because it seems like most people that I talk to on here usually come by around 10 o'clock, which I know is really late for some people, but it seems like the people that kind of consistently show up, that's been the case. This one looks kind of interesting. It looks like, I don't know, the inside of the 9 there looks thicker. Let's turn it upside down and see what it looks like. Can't tell if that's damage on the bottom of the 7 or if it splits off. That looks like damage. Let's check out and see what... Okay, these look thicker than what we've been seeing. Pretty much all the other ones that we've looked at, well, looks like there's a little scooped off the top of that one. Let's check Liberty. I feel like one of the double dies that I saw had a notch in the leg of the R. But I guess one of the hard things too is a lot of the different, see how much smaller it looks. I actually got the glare off of it at this angle. But a bunch of the double dies would have kind of like a little line going down the tail of the 9 at the bottom. But these really are not allowing us to see that at all. It's 11 p.m. there. Yeah, my friends on the East Coast that watch, There, like, especially when I go to like midnight or something some nights, it's just too late. And I get it. I totally get it. Wow, this one looks kind of interesting. Like look how far the L appears to be from the rim. It's like everything got kind of like scooted over. Just, I don't know. It almost looks like things got like dragged. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one that looked exactly like that before. Hopefully we'll find something just plain and obvious here. I feel like that's been the case with other rolls that we go through. These ones just kind of seem to be eluding me tonight. Need some coffee, that'll help. So I'm thinking that I will save most of these kind of quicker rolls to go through, just because there's not as much stuff to look for bonus streams. And then I have a bunch of other rolls that take a little bit more time and we seem to have a little bit more luck with, and I can do those on my regularly scheduled nights. Because I think it's like, I think we have like 3 more coins here. At the same time I could buy multiple rolls, but for this person I bought everything they had. This one kind of looks like it's got, you know, like little line going underneath the 9. I don't think that is just the light. It's just interesting, and every time we see that and I kind of come up here and try to look at everything, it kind of looks more like it's machine damage. I think there's going to be some fun auctions this week, so I'm pretty excited. Hopefully be able to get some cool new coins for you guys. It seems like Sundays on eBay, it's like the best day of the week. Only thing I don't like about Sunday auctions is it takes me over an hour to go through every listing that's ending that day. But I guess if that's like my biggest complaint, that's not too bad. This one kind of looks thicker, but it's Riot's coming soon. Let's hope not. Let's definitely hope not. Our country has enough stuff going on without riots. I guess there's already riots going on when I think about it. Yeah, this is like that same kind of, it's like the, I guess it's from the copper being stretched over the zinc. I'm wondering if it's kind of a later state die that's worn out. Like, it's like, look at these, like, I feel like we've been seeing a lot of this. I've had enough of Trump versus Biden. I had to just check out. I voted and whatnot, but I've just had to check out. It's like, I think it's going to be like months before we know anything either way, so I'm just watching a Doctor Who marathon, do some time traveling through time and space, and try to mellow out. I figure whatever happens will happen, and that's my plan. Wow. I think is that T and Y like way closer than normal? Just it looks like they're almost touching. Let me grab another one. No, I guess that's normal for this date. I'd never noticed how close they were together. I know that every date is a little bit different. But it's funny, like say that's the last coin in the roll, and I guess we weren't looking at Liberty unless there was something interesting going on. So I'm just going to check I'm just looking at the double dies. Yeah, it's the double die pictures here. Everything's so crisp and clear. Like the digits are so much finer, but they also look like most of them are like kind of low grade. Yeah, I don't think that we found any double dies. Like these, the dates on these look way better, like a lot thicker. I think that if we had found one for real, I think that we would have definitely been able to see it. Yeah, I'd never noticed the T and the Y that close together, but that was our last coin here. I guess I gotta zoom this out for you guys, so you guys aren't just staring at fuzz. So I will have another roll this Saturday. I might do, I mean for the memorials here I have a 87D, which does have a ton of RPMs. And so we can do that. I think I had a 77 PND, and what was the last one? I think was 1981, I think. I think I got it right here. That's the 87. Yeah, it looks like I got a 81D. Apologize, my head's traveling to another universe. So yeah, thank you OopsRX for being here tonight. I will be back Saturday. I may do a bonus stream this week, just because a bunch of these ones, they're quicker videos, and so I think I might do some bonus streams. But thanks for joining me tonight. I wish you a good week. Good luck finding some awesome coins this week. I hope you do get a 1955. But I hope you get it for an awesome price, so that you don't feel like you need to chicken out and you can feel like, yes, awesomeness, because that feels good. I feel like there's strong potential with the way that things are going in the world, and the way I've been seeing the auctions going, that will happen for you. So keep watching them. And thank you. Good night to you too, and good night to everyone else watching. Thanks for watching, and see you all in the future. Have good nights, everybody. Be well.